Hi, this is Zach Hale, aka Chaos Incarnate, with another video tutorial. It was asked of me how it is that I make the lightsaber effects for various lightsabers, beam sabers, and other stuff like that on my comic. And as I was thinking about that, that's only like a 2-minute long tutorial because it's really simple. And then as I was thinking about it some more, because somebody requested it, so I'm going to do it. I was thinking, that's really the same technique that I use for doing a whole lot of other stuff as well. So we're going to get y'all a threefer, I'm going to do 3 effects in the same tutorial because it's really all the same effect. It's the effect that you can use for eyeglows, and I'll show you how to do that. We're going to take this and we're going to make a new layer. And I'm going to take my polygonal lasso tool. And let's go into the eyes here and select them. And you don't have to be exact. If you hold the shift key down, you can make a new selection, which is a little useful hotkey. And so there's a selection of the eyes there. And all we gotta do is, here's the brush, it's on white. Uh-oh, something weird happened. Oh, it's because I'm on the wrong brush. So there's that. Deselect. Take the Gaussian blur. And we don't need to blur this very much, just a little bit to give it a little bit of fuzz to it. That's fine right there. Double click on this layer and bring up the outer glow style. Megatron is evil. Stroking the goatee. Of course, whenever you talk about Megatron, he's always evil, and you have to stroke your goatee because then it makes it, increases the effect. If you were to say, there's Megatron, he's evil, or even try to put some inflection on there, he's evil. It's just not as good as when you stroke your goatee and say, evil. So, since he's evil, he's going to have red eyes. And put that there. That's all fine. Make it red and set that to screen, and size is just about right. And there it is. It's done. There's Megatron with glowing red eyes, which, because of the lightness of the shot, you can't really tell too much. If I really was concerned about that, then I could take and darken it if I really felt like it, but oh gosh, I'm doing it already without any volition. But why can't I control myself? Anyhow, there's done. Next, you can use the same effect for doing laser blasts. Again, I'll take a picture here, go back to the same thing, make a new layer, and we'll take our brush tool and we'll take a smaller brush here. This is a great trick. Ready for this? Watch this. Click here, hold shift, click somewhere where he's shooting towards, and it makes a perfectly straight line. It's fantastic. And I'm going to divert from this for just a hot second by showing you another little technique that I like to do, which is I'm going to make another new layer, set this one to dissolve. Now dissolve, when I first saw dissolve, I was like, what on earth is this? How is it useful? Come on, there we go. Because that's all it does, is it makes this little effect here, and frankly, I could never figure out what useful purpose it served until I found this. Ready for this? I'm going to click right here where that blast starts. So this is set to dissolve. I'm going to hit Control E to minimize it down. Now these are in the same layer. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to undo that. Control Z, it is your friend. I'm going to make a new layer right here. And I'm going to dissolve this down, or sorry, dissolve. Put these down together. So now we have this layer, which is on normal, and then this layer, which has this dissolve effect. Oops. But it's not on dissolve anymore. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my marquee tool, start from the beginning, hold down Shift and Alt, so that I have a selection with that at the middle. This makes it easier for when you're doing radial blurs, by the way. Radial blur is always centered. It starts off being centered either to the picture itself or to the selection, but it's centered. And I'm going to make it best, zoom, that's fine. Now, it has a little particulate effect, and it's very, very nice looking. And so I'm going to take this, deselect that, just like I did before. Megatron, I've seen Transformers animated. His blast is red, not because he's evil, but simply because that's just the way it is. Megatron's blast is red. It is to be red. I'm gonna kind of bring that out a bit more, and that's fantastic. And then this other one, the reason I'm doing these separately is because I want the same red on this little blast effect, but I'm gonna do like what you've seen me do with my spark effects. I'm gonna take the size and put that down to 0, just so it gets more definition, looks a little sharper. So there it is, the same effect, now used for doing blast effects, you know, lasers and stuff like that. And then finally, what I was asked about, beam sabers. Again, same thing. Make a new layer, take your lasso tool, and I'm just going to select this whole area. This is actually exactly the same technique as used to make eyeglows. Sorry, listening to my tunes. And close that up. This time I'm just going to use the paint bucket because it's a lot faster than the brush. The brush. Go into my filter, blur, Gaussian blur. I want it to be just fuzzy enough that it looks fuzzy, but it doesn't need to be so fuzzy that you're like, you know, throwing in definition all over the place. See, that looks good right there. You can't really automate the fuzzy because different objects at different sizes on screen, at different, even the distance from the camera is going to affect how big of a blur you want that to be. So it really is all just comes down to your eyeball, you know, your educated eye and what you want it to be. The beam saber is kind of a pinkish color. And so there it goes. Put that up to 100. It's already got a lot of blur because of the inherent size of the blur, so don't really even need to mess with the size. And there it is. It's the same effect used in all of these cases. Just take a new layer, put an eyeglow on it, and it works out great for lasers, for eyeglows, for beam sabers, for, gosh, you can use it for energy effects. I've done it for sparks, I've done it for electricity, I've done it for damage done to characters. I use this outer glow way too much. If I had a nickel for every time I use this outer glow, I wouldn't have to work for you guys anymore. Anyhow, this is Zach Hale, signing off.